Bubbles. J-Dog back to answer more goddamn questions. Still out in goddamn New River fucking Arizona. And dog, what the fuck? You got the same goddamn shirt on as yesterday. No fucking shit, goddamn Bubbles. Recording these back to back. Dog's got to get goddamn caught up. Man, have fucking mama tie your goddamn shoes. Can't figure any of this goddamn shit out. I mean, the bubbles are the bubbles. You do realize there's people to this day, which blows my motherfucking goddamn mind right on my goddamn skull, like a goddamn fucking just gun blowing my brains out. There's actually people that think that I record these at 6 a.m. every goddamn morning. It's like, dude, how does that make any sense whatsoever? First of all, technically, I'd have to record it before 6 a.m. When I 5:30 a.m. What do you think I'm getting up at 5:30? And how do you think those interviews and shit? What do you think I do those? You think those are the same time? Those are the real goddamn time? No, it's all pre-recorded. That's how you get a video up every goddamn day. There's no YouTuber on this fucking planet that does a video every single day that it's not pre-recorded, unless they're just doing lives every day. Then of course that's in real time. I mean, didn't think that needed to be explained, but holy fuckski, look at them goddamn bubbles, them gumps, them sloth from the goddamn Goonies in the bubble box. I mean, in the comic box. It's a lot of them, goddamn it. It's the last goddamn Painski I printed off, so I have a stack of order questions I'll just be going into from here on out while I'm out here, because I don't got any goddamn printer, but I got a bunch of them, and they're old as fuck anyways, so we'll finally get to those. But from Brandon Milton, paid question. He said, I know you think Michael Ackerfeld, who looks like a pedo, but just wondering what you think about the stuff he did with Bloodbath. Oh, you got to be talking about, so that's the guy from Opeth? Yeah, I didn't know his goddamn name. I didn't get that fucking far. Goddamn guy's got a fucking flower on his, he's literally got a flower on his album cover, for fuck's sakes. That don't fit the bill at all, brah. So I didn't even bother ever checking it out. But Bloodbath, yeah, I liked it. He's Breeding Death EP. That's probably the best thing, I think. Resurrection Through Carnage, Faithless Mastery, and maybe especially Unblessing the Purity EP. So the ones I know is Breeding Death, Resurrection Through Carnage, and I think you're missing one. What's the one with? It's the third release. That's because the Faithless Mastery and Unblessing the Purity, I never really listened to be honest with you. No reason. I just fell off, forgot about it. Maybe they're good. But, goddamn, what's the album called? It's got the, pretty sure it's, Ben Scooter fucking Arts. The song Brave New Hell is on there, which that's the best song. Brave New Hell, that's a fantastic fucking song. I forget the title of the goddamn album. I know, but I don't think it's any of the ones that you just mentioned, because Resurrection Through Carnage, I believe, is the first full length. And, those were the EP and that were my favorite, but the one that I'm forgetting the goddamn name, Brave New Hell, that's like probably one of their goddamn best songs, if not their best song. And that was on the, not third album, but second full length, I guess. The other two, yeah, I haven't heard them. As far as death metal, younger than a couple decades, I think those send 90% of deer in headlights, dick in the mouth, stretchers home on a stretcher. No, he says stretchers home on a hoagie. Later, goddammit. Yeah, I mean, like I said, those first three Bloodbath releases I definitely thought were good. I think the reason I fell off is because the third release, wasn't that with Dan Swano singing, and he doesn't sing on the first two records? Maybe that's the pedophile singing on them. I thought the vocals were more brutal and better. The third release, it was a little bit more, it was starting to get a little bit more radio friendly. Again, it was good as a whole. I do like the record and I own it. And again, I thought that song Brave New Hell was fantastic. That's some good goddamn songwriting right there. I mean, you're air guitaring and tapping your foot and singing along goddamn after one goddamn listen after that. Memorable as shit. So kudos there. But I just felt like the album as a whole, that the band was regressing. So I probably just assumed anything after that, it was just severely watered down. Could be wrong. It could even be better. I probably should listen to it. It's just, I didn't, I guess that's the reason in the back of my mind of why I didn't listen to those. But they're not, that band was never on my shit list by any stretch of the definition. I wanted to watch them when they played MDF, but I didn't get a chance to. I was just too goddamn busy. I don't remember if I was shooting an interview or hanging out with the goddamn Devils or helping Eric with merch shit. I can't remember. There was a reason I didn't watch them. Or maybe I didn't even know what the time they were going on. There's something, but I didn't get to watch them. But that was a band I was wanting to watch. I would have interviewed, who knows, maybe I'd be interviewing the goddamn pedophile. Whoever the head honcho, I'm assuming the head honcho is Dan Swano, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm not a Bloodbath super fan. I just know those first three, and And I liked them and I own them, but it wasn't like something that I know a ton about. I don't know all of them. I remember like when that band came out, it was kind of like, wasn't it advertised kind of as like one of the earlier super groups where it was members from established bands. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least, yeah, the Opeth guy and Swano from Edge of Sanity. I mean, Edge of Sanity's good, but goddamn, best thing Swano's ever done is Infest Dead, no doubt about it. I would love to get me some goddamn Infest Dead with goddamn at a Dead by Dog, because dude, I don't even know, has Infest Dead ever even played a show? If they have, they damn sure never played the States. Tell me that wouldn't be goddamn cool. But again, dude, all these posers don't even fucking know Infest Dead, the good shit. But yeah, you bring in fucking 200 wimp wounds and it's a full house. Jesus fuck. Okay, even if you like them, haven't you seen them already? If you live in the States, I mean, maybe if you live in goddamn Slovakia, okay, you haven't seen them. And then if you're excited about them then, okay, fair enough, I get that. But if you're in the States, you tell, for example, that's a litmus test right there if we listen to the same kind of music or not. Let's just say J-Dog's putting Dead by Dog Volume 2 on, and he's got Infest Dead playing, and it's on a Saturday night. It's at West Side Bowl, Youngstown, Ohio, where Dead by Dog 1 is. Tickets in the description box. Let's say he's putting that on, and that same Saturday in Cleveland, a 50-minute drive away, same goddamn night, 200 Wimp Wounds is playing. I can tell you right now, anybody that's in the loop, anyone that's in the know, anyone that listens to the same kind of metal that the Dog listens to, they're going, not because it's me, forget if you might put it, let's just say somebody else put it on. They're going to Infest Dead. They're not going to goddamn 200 Wimpy Wounds. They're just fucking not. Even if you love the band, if you're like, dude, the Wimp Wounds is pretty good. Again, what I heard, it wasn't bad. I give them credit due. It definitely didn't suck. I think they get ripped on a little too hard. Granted, I'm probably to blame for that, or at least partially to blame. But whatever, it's all in goddamn good fun. And at this point, it's just an ongoing joke. It's funny. But, I mean, if you just by default, you'd be like, huh, okay, well, this band's from Cleveland. I'm going to be able to see them again in my lifetime. I'm never going to see Infest Dead again in my lifetime. That's your metal, like, just alarm going off. I'm going to Infest Dead. But they wouldn't. So, I mean, some would. In the loopers would fucking no. But the posers, they wouldn't. Benjamin Williams, this is a goddamn order question. Came in fucking Saint knows how long ago. Hey, J-Dog, are there still plans for the re-release of Anal Blast's Vaginal Vampires? Yeah, I mean, is it you? Let's go, because somebody sent me it that said that you were on it or whatever. As I've told you before in a paid ski, we run the Roots of All Evil radio show in Minneapolis. Last April, we did an Anal Blast special with many past members reuniting in the air, so it wasn't you that maybe it was you that contacted me, but I thought it was one of the members. Or plenty crazy stories of Don Decker's shenanigans. Yeah, I met Don Decker. He definitely seemed like an out there fella, put it that way. If anyone checks out our Facebook page, KFAI's Root of All Evil, you can find a link to the show on Mixcloud if you scroll down to the April post. Anyhow, cheers. So as far as where the Anal Blast left off, somebody contacted me, you or I thought a member, you put me in touch, I think, with one of the members that played on it, and he said he was definitely interested because, yeah, that Vaginal Vampires, that's total great porno grind, catchy as fuck. And I do think it would sell, too. And I was a fan. I mean, I saw them a few times. I saw them at Metal Moms Fest in Detroit. And in Cleveland, they played with Regurgitation. I got a good, funny story about... funny memory story about that guy getting yelled at by his girlfriend that I can't tell. It was after the show, but I'm not gonna tell that publicly. But nonetheless, I was at that show, and I remember it. That was probably like 2001. I was definitely a teenager. I always liked that album. It's never been on vinyl. But whoever I talked to, I said, yeah, I need all the files. It'd be cool to have the lyrics because the CD doesn't have the lyrics. So basically just need materials. And it's like, yeah, are you the guy that owns this? Or at least somewhat has a say? Because granted, that's not like, I don't think that's like anybody's going to come after you type of deal. It's not like, you're just trying to license Deicide and you're like, Steve Ashim told me I could do it, but let's say he doesn't own it. Goddamn, Warner Brothers owns it, and said I could do it. Like, that's you might get in a little bit of goddamn trouble. Anal Blast, probably a different story if just any of the band members, because it might not even be in writing that anybody actually does own that. Could be wrong on that. So we talked. He said that he was confident he could get stuff. That was around the time that you messaged me, however many months ago that was, and I haven't heard back. That's usually the way it goddamn goes. So definitely up for it. Will it happen? On our end, I can promise I'll make it happen. I know Eazy-E and Sea-Dog would go for it too. They remember that record, and I'm pretty sure they at least somewhat like it. You know, it's an old classic at this point that'd be worthy to put out on vinyl. But it's more so, that's on you, dude, as far as the guy that needs to get me materials, because I can't do anything without materials. Because especially that porn-like cover, which is a fitting cover for that for their style of lyrical content. If you scan that from a CD, dude, it's gonna look like shit. So it's like I actually need the files, like, so I need stuff. And then CD was slim pickings. I don't even think there was any band photos or anything like that. So if anybody's got any like band photos and stuff like that, it's funny because I don't know how, or maybe he did get shit. Is I don't think a lot of you guys realize. That's why I find it hilarious too. Like, and again, the old school guys are at least aware of this, even if they're not a fan. The guys that come in here and rip on Cradle of Filth and shit like that. Don Decker was a huge Cradle of Filth fan. And he was all about the sick shit, bro. Dude, when I saw them play live, he was wearing Cradle of Filth sweatpants. Again, this is in 2000. So this is probably either right when Midian came out or even before Midian. Because Midian was the last record I liked. I shouldn't say liked, that I do like to this day, by Cradle of Filth. When it first came out, that's the only goddamn album I ever borrowed from somebody in high school. This kid, he came up to me. He's a full grown. When I say kid, he's a full grown man now. He's actually a year older than me. He came up to me at the Deicide show, the Deicide Christian. Remember me? No, I haven't seen him in 20 years. Yeah, it's Matt. Oh fuck yeah, I remember. Yeah, Matt Amir. He was a nice guy. He liked some metal, like the bigger stuff. I mean, he maybe now he knows about Nunslaughter and Sadistic Intent. He might, but I doubt he knew about that stuff then. But he liked, Cradle of Filth, Damien Borger. He was more of the black metal guy, but he liked Cannibal as well. He's the only person in high school days of somebody my age that I borrowed a CD from. He bought the Midian album when it came out. He's like, have you heard it? I was like, no. Again, this is predating YouTube and all that shit. He let me borrow his copy, and when he handed it to me, I'm like, oh, man, dude, the cover's fucking gay. I don't like it. All right, whatever. I put it on. I listened to it once. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't really like it. It's pretty fucking weak. Like, it's watered down to shit. I listened to it a second time. I'm like, I guess it's okay. And I gave it back to him. He's like, what'd you think? I was like, I thought it was okay. He's like, yeah, I didn't think it was their best stuff too. He's like, but I dug it. And then about another 6 months, 8 months, I went out and bought it. I listened to it again. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's pretty good. And I revisited a year or so. I'm like, nah, I dig it. I was like, it's watered down and it's wimpy, but I still dig it. The cover still licks ass. But after that is when I fell off. It took me years to listen to the album after. I didn't really like it. I revisited it a few years ago. It's okay. It's not as bad as I remember, but it's like, wasn't big on it. But it's just funny because in that scene, I mean, you had the Corpse Gristle record shirts, no gay black metal. They were specifically talking about bands like Cradle, Damien Borger, Old Man's Child, etc., that whole Baxter crowd. I don't think they were mostly referring to Marduk, Immortal, Dark Funeral, because a lot of those guys, if they liked any black metal, including Baxter, they liked that stuff. Like, well, yeah, dude, that's the blasting black metal. I don't like this sissy keyboard black metal. Their words, not mine. That's how they referred to it as. But Don Decker, since he was in that scene, he loved Cradle. I mean, look at the Anal Blast logo. It's literally the exact same font as Cradle of Filth. And from what I've been told, from what I've heard, Danny Filth is a big fan of, he likes a lot of gore grind. And I think he likes Anal Blast specifically. I've heard this through the grapevine. You bet your ass I'm asking that if I ever get that goddamn interview. Something, again, all these fucking hoagie-ass, goth fucking posers that heard him past Midian. Goddamn well, they weren't asking that goddamn info. Shit, they don't even know what gore grind probably is. They damn sure don't know who Disgorge from Mexico is. No Disgorge Mexico, bro. That's who's interviewing him, so it'll be an actual goddamn good interview because I've only heard that through do you know what? It might have been even Don, because I met Don Decker and had a conversation with him twice. Again, he was a little weird, but nice guy. He might have been even him that told me that, because I know I was shocked that they had the Cradle of Filth logo and then he liked Cradle of Filth, because nobody in that scene, we called it the Baxter scene, which it wasn't like, it's not like Baxter was the king of that scene. It's just he had a heavy promotion towards it, doing the Ohio Death Fest, which was very successful. He had one of the best brutal death metal bands in existence, goddamn Regurgitation. Regurgitation, Tales of Necrophilia, which was recorded in 1999. That's one of the best brutal death metal records to date, ever. He's on that, did Ablated Records, putting out tons of the sick shit, Lividity, Reinfection, Morgue, Regurgitation as well he put out. Tons of shit. He was known for that crowd, and none of those guys liked black metal, for sure not the symphonic black metal like Cradle and Damu. So I thought it was really weird, especially a kid not knowing much, that Don Decker did. So I'm pretty sure I asked him in person. That's where I heard those stories. And I was going to confirm or deny it. Meeting with technically I did meet Danny Filth. I met him. It actually wasn't a Midian tour. I met him outside. I got my picture with him outside the bus. But I just had him sign some of my stuff. Have to this day, CDs and shit. I don't know if I bought any LPs. I think just CDs. Had him sign those. Me, Easy, and C-Dog got our photo with him. But I didn't ask him any questions. He was nice and friendly, but I wasn't going to sit there and drill him because there was kind of a line, too. There's like maybe another 10, 15 people out there that want to get a photo with him and get shit signed. And I don't even know if I knew the Anal Blast info at that time to have asked him. I might have found out post that. But if I did know, again, didn't ask. So, Andrew Shaw, another goddamn order question. Said, hey, J-Dog, I actually love the bodybuilding / nutrition talk. Yeah, well, you're like one of the goddamn 10 people. Everybody else fucking whines and goddamn cries. Ever consider maybe dedicating a certain day of the week's videos to the topic since the fan base is split? Also, what are those? So I'll answer that first. Probably not. I mean, if it's a paid ski, that's what the thing is. I answer those if it's a paid ski. I don't give a shit who likes it, who doesn't. I'm answering because it's a goddamn paid goddamn question. If it's a good order question, too, I'll ask it, answer it. But I don't, dude, it's not split at all. I could tell you just based on the, if you ever notice, even if there's a bodybuilding topic in the in like a mix of like, let's say I do 3 questions and let's say it's 2 of them metal related, 1 of them bodybuilding related, I don't put any of the bodybuilding related shit usually, unless it's like calling out Michael Hearn or something because it might get clicks. I usually don't put that in the subject line because I know for a fact if I do something that's all bodybuilding related in the subject line, I can guarantee you, dude, it'll be struggle to get 2,000 views. Meaning significantly less than the minimum 3,000 what I prefer for the first 24 hours. So I don't think it's split at all. I think there's probably maybe 100 people watching, the regular watchers, that like the topic, and the most are just neutral to it, don't care. And there's the ones that hate it. The ones that hate it, I think that's weird because the bodybuilding podcasts that I listen to, they're not just talking about bodybuilding all day. Like Dennis James podcast, I'm a big fan of that because I like all the personalities on there. Like Dennis James, I like Milo Sarshev and Chris Cormier. Like, for example, like one of the later podcasts they did, they were talking about the all those drones flying around. They're just talking about random shit. They're not just, yes, they're retired bodybuilders, and that's what I like to listen to. But I'm not like pissed, talk about bodybuilding only. That's like I'm falling because their personality. So that's why with the people that get pissed when I talk about it, I'm like, what do you mean? That's all you want me to talk about is metal? Like I thought usually you follow someone because you agree with their personality, so maybe you want to hear other things about what they're into or life things. So that never made sense. It's like you just want to hear about how I like Deicide and Infest Dead and Centurion and that fucking old man's child is goddamn influenced goddamn Goat Moon, and none of you like to hear that, even though it's pure goddamn facts. I re-listened to goddamn Goat Moon the other goddamn day at the shop, Varjot. It's fucking hilarious, dude. It literally has very similar riffs in parts. I could spot them out as like the first 2 Old Man's Child album. People got so mad about that. I was like, dude, I can guarantee you those guys like them. And if they don't, then goddamn, they're either covering it up or, well, you play similar style music as you. I can tell you that because I can literally. That's the number 1 band it sounded like. Not the later shit where they got a little bit more, I guess, commercial sounding as far as just the. It got a little bit more. I should say commercial sounding. It got a little bit more Damu Borger sounding on that album where the cover sucks. It's the fucking girl with bleeding eyes. What's that album called again? Took a while to grow on, but it's got the dude from Damu, so that's why. That shit up I like, but it's not as good. The first 2 are great though. I was like, because yeah, it just started to sound more like Damu Borger. I was like, why you guys like sounding like another man? You kind of had your own thing. Whatever. But yeah, you just want me to talk about that again? I mean, I don't get it. So he's also, what were those channels and podcasts you like on the topic? I mean, like, again, I like podcasts like, Dennis James, the Menace podcast. I like, there's a channel called It's Just Bodybuilding. Some of I like it when like Skip Hill's on there and shit. He's good to listen to. RX Muscles hit or miss. I like the Ask Dave segments, but most of the shit that he's puts out now, like with the whack pack, it's stupid. Just a bunch of fucking burnout geezers that just talk out of their ass, like Greg Valentino and shit. Who he's cool and he's a guy I would hang out with, but he does is shit talk bodybuilding. It's like, dude, without bodybuilding, like you literally nobody would know who you are. So like you're kind of shitting where you eat. That's like me if I was to do nothing but shit talk goddamn metal. Well, you do shit talk metal. No, I trash talk and I bust balls because it makes good entertainment. That guy legitimately hates on it and tells people not to do it. It's like, you're literally known for it, dude. You'd be a nobody without it. Nobody would know who you are without it. So there's a lot of that crap going on with that. Other channels. Who do I watch? Who do I like? I like Beatty Farrell's channel. His podcasts. A lot of it's non-bodybuilding related too. Some of it's like just biohacking for like health markers, just like that, with nutrition, working out, pharmacology, anything that people find out. There's always new shit coming out that people are figuring out through whether it be studies or anecdotal evidence, just trial and error, being a goddamn human guinea pig. So a lot of shit has been found out, and people reporting their data and what they've done. Like the last thing in the last 3 years that have been trendy as hell is ice baths. And you find out the good and negative with that. For example, I'll give you one negative with ice baths, is that it reduces rate of muscle growth, especially if you do them directly after a workout. So you might be shooting yourself in the goddamn foot. Now, if you're juiced to the goddamn gills, is it going to fucking make a difference? Fuck no, of course not. It's not going to offset that. But if you're all natural and you're doing your training and you go immediately in ice bath, that's like the dumbest thing you can goddamn do. You literally reduce your fucking, that's proven at this point. It reduces goddamn muscle gains, just so you goddamn know, because it's reducing the inflammation, and inflammation is one of the main signals to hypertrophy, because it's a signal to repair the damage that you did in the goddamn gym. You need it. Everyone thinks it's because your testosterone or your growth hormone shot up after a workout. Dude, it's minusculely fucking raises, and it's acute. Acute levels don't fucking produce muscle growth. The main things that lead to muscle growth is inflammation and cortisol. That's what's the repair process. So just little things like that. People talk about that. So, that's what. But I doubt that'd be goddamn big part of the goddamn channel. Let's knock one guy. People hate those questions. Knock out one more goddamn order question, even though we're over the time frame. But I want the pussy boys bitching. Matthew Davidson, question for J-Dawg. What do you think of the Austrian black metal band Abigor? Thought it was okay. Kind of in one ear out the other. It's more the extreme style black metal that I'm a fan of. But specifically them and Cethereal is one of those bands I want to like it, but it kind of like the songs didn't stick with me. Listened to them when I was a teenager, late teenager, probably like 16 to like 19 in that area, and it didn't hit me like a band like Unlord or something did, or in recent years a band like that I heard that I really like is Infernal War, or a band like Ice, the Imperial Crystalline Entombment. Like first time out the gate, that was more that extreme blast and black metal sound that hit me out the gate. Like, this is fucking great. It didn't do that. When I listened to Abigor, Cethereal, I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Like, the songs are repetitive. Now, again, I haven't heard everything. Cethereal, I think I listened to the Nord album. Abigor, I think I listened to the Apocalypse. I think that's an EP. And the Nachschnim or whatever, maybe those. But definitely didn't suck. But I remember it just doing nothing for me. It didn't stick to me. It didn't hit me at all. So they are one of my favorite black metal bands, and I'm curious to see what you think of them and which albums you've heard. Well, just goddamn answer that for you. That's my goddamn take on Abigor, and I gave you 2 for 1. Abigor and Cethereal. Cethereal, I'm not sure where they're from. Was Sweden probably, but can't say for sure. I don't know. I don't think they're Austrian, but whatever. I know goddamn Belfagor is though, right? So, gave you a 2 for 1 goddamn combo. Comes with search stuff with you, but the goddamn scans in the morning. Don't forget them goddamn Pansky in the goddamn description box. Which email to send it to? Get your Dead by Dog tickets and get your goddamn J-Dawg slogan shirt. All in the description box, Bubbles. Ask Mama how to do it. Later, goddamn it.